Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Embers and today I am making Granny's home. So I built this last year on the same evenings that I built the station house, but I built this one first. The station house was the second house that I built that evening. So for that evening, I just fancied building something just because I can. Because when I was building this, I was building a lot of buildings because it was autumn or Halloween or for like my Dark Disney Princess series, which is coming back. I will build Pocahontas Cave sometime soon. But I was building lots of builds because I had a reason for it. And I just wanted to build something that evening just because I can. There was no rhyme or reason for it. I was just building for the fun of it. And I built this one first. And I went on to Pinterest just to see what builds I've got saved in my Pinterest. There are loads of them. I've been quite organised lately and I organise them into little folders. And I went to my big traditional homes, I think, and I found this picture of this building that I'm building here, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to build this because it is beautiful, it's so pretty, it has a really interesting shape, and the picture that I was referencing from or building from is by Cross Stitch Kits Ola. I will whack a picture on screen so you can see what I was referencing to or building to. And yeah, I just love the shape of it. I just I gotta build this. I want to build it. I want to see if I can build it. It took me several attempts to understand the shape of it because it is like a diagonal corner home, as I like to call them. And yeah, it took me quite several times to figure it out, especially when it came to that balcony or that decking area on the ground floor. That took me so long to figure out. Mainly because I went the wrong way. I went a bit diagonal, a bit too diagonal. Where I think I should have gone straight. I don't know. I figured it out at the end. That's all that matters. But yeah, it was a good challenge to figure it all out. It was like a big, gigantic puzzle, and it was just good fun to build. And once I finished building it, I got the basic structure down with the roofing and the rooms and the balconies, and perhaps the windows and the exterior paint color of it. I was like, oh, this looks so good, but it's huge and it will look so good with pastel colours inside of it. And at the time of that evening, I was like, I don't want to do that just now, perhaps later, but I'm not fancying decorating a huge house in pastel colours. So that evening I moved on to the station house, and yeah, that was more to my style and colour design and all that jazz. And yeah, that one came out first and this one came out second. So when I first built this, I thought, oh, this will be great. One, pastel colours, like I said, but two, it'll be perfect for a grandma, like a really special grandma. Like the type of place when you're little, when your parents go, right, are you ready to go to grandma's place? Yeah, it's like the best thing in the world. You'll hop out of bed because you're so excited to visit grandma's place because it is like the most magical, wonderful, wholesome, warm, fuzzy feeling place in the world, and you just love going there. And I thought, yes, this would be perfect for this house. And when it came to December, I thought, okay, since this house was already being made, in the process of being made and decorated, I thought this would be a perfect place for Mrs. Claus. But that didn't go ahead because the Winter Lodge took so long to do, because the Winter Lodge was only supposed to be a build for winter, hence the name. But that took so long to do because one, I was ill the first week of December. Two, I was redecorating my sister's bedroom. Three, it was my mum's birthday, literally a week before Christmas. Christmas itself And the Winter Lodge, I used a lot of like tool mod. Oh, hello, a lot of tool mod in the build, and I love the tool mod. It gives you so many more options to build with and to make your homes even more like special and wowy. But I am so in using the tool mod because I'm not very good at using the tool mod, and so the Winter Lodge took way longer than I expected, and so it just kind of become a Winter Lodge and a Christmas Lodge at the same time. And the idea of this becoming Mrs. Claus' house didn't come to fruition, but that's okay because I had always intended for this house to be a granny's house. I just thought making it a Christmas house would also help with it being a pastel house at the same time. It would make it more palatable for me decorating in a pastel colour scheme. But that never came to fruition. But that's okay because what I've got, I absolutely love and adore. And I think having a character in mind and then developing that character as I decorated most definitely helped with me decorating this place, and it looks so good. If I don't mind tooting my own horn too, because I think this looks great and I'm so happy with it. And halfway through in making this house, I got cottage living, and part of me was like, oh, do I move this to what's it called, Henford on Bagley? But Henford on Bagley doesn't have. I think this is a really weird, odd 40 by 40 lot. And in the game, we don't have many 40 by 40 lots, let alone in Henford and Bagley, because I think that does 30 by 20, 60 by 60, and 50 by 40. They don't do 40 by 40. Now, I didn't want to scale up and I didn't want to scale down, so it is staying in, what's it called, the Magical World, the Magical Rocky World, Realm of Magic? No, the other one, Glimmerbrook. It stayed in Glimmerbrook, but there are so many little pretty and cute items in the game, including some of the windows. So I used some of the windows in this build here. So the round window you see on the front porch area, that gets removed and is replaced by the butterfly stained glass window. It was a little bit small, so I had to resize it. And because of that, I had like a weird small circular thick gap where it would have gone. So I covered it up with some wisteria, and I cannot tell you how happy that we have wisteria in the game, because when I saw the cottage living trailer, I was like, oh, is that wisteria? I got so happy for wisteria. So I was very happy that I now own it. I now own wisteria now. I have it in my own game. Because wherever I go, if it's like a really fancy area or like a really lovely building, they always have wisteria growing on their house, and you just look so good. And it's like, oh, I really want that house, but it's in an area that I could never afford. So maybe not living in a house, or will never live in a house with wisteria on it, but I can now put wisteria on my Sim 4 builds instead. So it's like a compromise, a happy compromise. So yeah. Also, the cottage living expansion pack gave us a willow tree, and having a willow tree in my game has made me realise I love willow trees, because it reminds me of my childhood, because we had 2 willow trees in the playground of my primary school, and it also reminds me of like a little film that I used to watch when I was little, which was called Wind and the Willow, with Ratty and Molly and Toad, who was voiced by David Jason, who was also Delboy from Only Fools and Horses, and I absolutely love it. It's just one thing and I don't understand, and that is you can only find the willow tree in the debug section, which I don't understand, because it's such a nice looking tree, And I don't understand why it's not the main build buy section, because there may be people out there who know about the debug section but just forget about it. And then they'll be ignoring the loveliness of the willow tree and not realising that they could have a lovely willow tree in their game. And then there might be people out there who just don't know about the debug section, or know about the debug section but just don't know how to get into the debug section, and so that they'll be missing out on my lovely willow tree, and they just won't have a really lovely tree in their game. And it's my new favourite tree. I will be using it throughout most of my other builds that will be coming out. It will have a willow tree in it because I love that willow tree, and it saddens me that it's not in the main catalogue of the build buy mode that we have. It's just so rude against the willow tree. I mean, what did that willow tree do to deserve to be in the debug and not the main section of the build and buy section? I said section twice. But yeah, so I love that tree. I'm a little offended by that, it's not in the main part of the build buy mode, but that's fine because I know it's there. I always go into debug. It's just slightly upsetting that some people may miss out on it because it's not in the right section of the build buy mode. But anyways, we're inside. So this is the inside of Glenny's home. I love the layout of this place. It's very simple. The downstairs is very simple. It's like a one big fat loopy doopy. So right here, right now, I'm doing the dining room, and I am like making like a bespoke sitting area because this cats and dogs corner seating area doesn't quite fit into my corner bit I've got going on. So I had to use some shelves, and I had to use the tool mod just to rotate them and shove them into place. I've done this before but without the tool mod, and it looks so much better with the tool mod. It's so much cleaner with the tool mod. So kind of with the tool mod, it makes it more look like bespoke, handmade. It's made for this space kind of furniture, which makes sense for my character of Grandma, because Grandma, she is a very wholesome lady. She's very down to earth, but you don't want to get on the wrong side of her. She worked her butt off trying to get this place because she bought this place for herself. This is the place that she brought up her own own family, and this is the place where she is not growing. This is the place that her grandkids come to for fun times. This is the place where she spoils her grandkids, and yeah, she worked her arse off to get this place. She had to stand up for herself, tell people where to stick it some of the times, and you don't want to get on the wrong side of her. And I can't remember what I've said about her, so I might be going around in circles. But yeah, she worked her butt off to get off this place, and that means she can now afford bespoke furniture. And it also means she can purchase art, because she has a lot of artwork around this place. Some of the pieces are from like famous arty people. So like I think some of the art pieces that I got from the gallery were like copies of Claude Monet or something like that. Oil paintings. And so yes, she worked her butt off in her younger years. She's got a good pension. She's got a happy retirement. She's not worried about money because she took care of that in her younger years. She didn't take no for an answer. Yeah, she was a really hard-working lady, and she is a loving, caring grandmother who would do anything for her grandkids and her kids of her own. And you don't want to mess with her, you know? Don't mess with Granny. Just because she's old doesn't mean she can, Okay. She's not on the same line as Crumplebottom. She's not that angry. But yeah, she's a lovely, wholesome lady who just makes friends wherever she goes. And she's the type of person who would prefer to make things instead of like buy things. She understands the worth and the value of making the items, them buying the items and trying to repair the items instead of like getting rid of it and throwing it in the bin. So yeah, that's the kind of lady that I was picturing inside my head. And as we go upstairs, I'll explain a little bit more about who she is as well. But this is the area where she would sit down with her grandkids and tell her stories about her life. I thought I saw a cat. And she has a dog. She has a dog, of course she does. A grandmother that I got pictured in my head had to have a dog. She has a smaller dog than I envisioned. So the big dog bed that I have just in the like living room, dining room area is a little bit big for the dog. But I remember watching a James Turner video where in the comments section he mentioned that someone said that you can shrink down the size of a big dog bed and the dog will still sit in it and it will be fine. And so I had to scale it down a little bit because they were going right around the dog bed, which was a little strange. So I just sized it down a little bit. So they're not doing that, but they are rerouting themselves around the sofa, which is odd because it's like, hey, I made sure there was enough space behind that sofa to get around it. But I think it may be the picture behind the sofa that may be causing that problem. But hey ho. Yeah, so this is the sort of like crafty room. This is the crafty room. So we've got space for Grandma to sit in front of the fireplace, knitting her hats and socks for a gift for someone or an ugly Christmas jumper for someone. This is where she does it. She does it in front of the fireplace whilst her grandkids are creating their own little crafty items with the Parenthood All the Seasons craft table. And whenever the grandkids make something from that craft table, she proudly hangs it in her home. And whenever someone comes round and to her home, she goes, "Oh, do you like this? This is what my grandkids made." My brush just fell to the floor. But yeah, she'll proudly say, "This is what my grandkids made. Aren't they fabulous, darling?" So she's very proud of them. So this is the crafty room where all these lovely decorations come from and prezzies come from. I also put down one of these Parenthood, what's it called? These Parenthood, the kids come home from school and there's a little project they have to do. I put one, like the complete project, on the desk there. So they go, "Oh, do you like what my granddaughter did? She made that. She got an A star for it. La 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 la." So yeah, I put that down there because she's very proud of her grandkids and everything they do. She will support her grandkids in all the decisions, even if she thinks they are the wrong decisions. But you know what? Grandkids have to make their own decisions, their own mistakes, so they can one day, hopefully, learn from them. So she's that kind of grandma as well. She knitted that. She knitted the rug there. I thought that was quite good. Oh, she knitted that as well. So all these little things that she makes, she may not give them away, but she will proudly display them in her home because that's the kind of grandma that she is. So I was about to move upstairs, but I was like, hang on, I want a picture for the this area here, which is just behind. What did I call the dog? Because I made the dog. I made the family, especially for this video. So we have this lovely family wholesome scene at the beginning of the video. Dusty. I called it Dusty. Dusty the dog. I don't know what breed it is though. But this room here. So this room here is Grandma's room. So at first, what I'm doing here, I was like, okay, this is lovely. This is great. But this is not what I had in mind for Grandma. And so it's like, I love it. It's not for Grandma though. So I moved all of this into the other second double bedroom that we have in this house and just moved it over because I thought it looks lovely. I don't want to get rid of it. It's just not what I had in mind for Grandma. So I got rid of it and moved it. And then I came back to this room 2 more times afterwards because it was just there was something missing from it when I come back to it. There was something missing to it, so I came back to it. So this is where I was like, oh, I've decorated the wrong room, and decided to move everything over. So this is more like a spare bedroom type of thing. It's a bit of an odd shape because for me it feels like it's too big, but because the odd shape bit comes into it is on a diagonal, I couldn't really wall it off, because then if I walled it off, it would be too small otherwise. If the odd bit of the room was not on a diagonal and was like on a straight line, I think I would be able to wall it off. But because diagonal walls are a bit funny in this game, they need like a lot of space. It would have been too small. So I was like, I don't really know what to do in this weird diagonal section that's just popping out. So I do put down a wardrobe because this room needs a wardrobe. I put down a little vanity table, but we had another little bit of space in between the vanity table and the wall, and so I did my classic of using the the country living kit shelves, and I put down the city living tiny, I don't know what you call them, square beanies, and sized them down and put them on this shelf here to make it look like it's like a little window seat area. It's not usable. And I'll also put down a Blarfy because I feel like this is like I said, the spare room, and Blarfy was grandma's when she was little, and it has so many memories. She loves Bluffy even now when she's older, but Blarfy is way too old to handle, even to hug. So she has kept him and put Blarfy in the spare bedroom, looking after the spare bedroom, because she can't throw him away. So this is my second attempt at trying to decorate Grandma's bedroom. And like I said, I do come back after this one because I just felt like it could be more cohesive, because I do put a picture behind the bed frame, and I felt like I could make it look more nicer using the colours from the picture and using them in the room just to make it be more together, make it look like it's supposed to be like that. And once I've done that, it looks so much better. So I do move on in a minute, and don't worry, because like I said, I come back and make it more cohesive, more nicer looking. Just make it look like how I envisioned Grandma's bedroom to look, because as I was doing the bedrooms, I started to learn or understand who Grandma was. She wasn't just a wholesome, loving, caring, proud, devoted mum and grandmother. She was also a person who liked to travel when she wasn't being a mum or a really kick-ass woman in the workplace. She liked to travel, and whenever she travelled, she liked to pick up a few items from her travels. So whenever she looked at them, she'd go, oh, that was a great time. The memories flood back. Or she was kind of the person, she would just make friends wherever she would go. And even if she didn't pick up an item from that place, she'd be given an item from the locals. Go, here you go, Grandma. This is for you for being such a lovely person. I would like you to have this to remember the time you had here in Salvadorada. So yeah, is it Salvadorada, the place in Jungle Adventure? I don't really go there. Yeah, so I do dot about some of the Jungle Adventure bits and pieces throughout this home to make it look like she does or do a little bit of travelling throughout our time in living in this home. So I do put a few bits here and there. There are not many pieces from the island pack. They just really didn't fit in. There wasn't like things that you would collect or pick up or be given if you travelled to that place. So I found out there's few more things from the jungle pack than the island pack. So I put more of the island pack stuff down instead. So this bedroom here is one of two kids' bedrooms. So the other kid's bedroom is directly above this one. And it is decorated exactly the same. It's just the colours have been switched. So this bedroom is in aqua blue and pink, and the bedroom above is pink and aqua blue. It's exactly the same, and so you don't get to see it twice. You see it once and that's it. So this is the teenager's bedroom. I'm getting a little bit bored in decorating teenager's bedroom, mainly because there's nothing to decorate with. There's nothing that says this is a teenager's bedroom. And so when I'm decorating, it's really hard to achieve that end goal. And so I'm getting a little bit bored in decorating a teenager's bedroom because there's nothing really to decorate with. But I took inspiration from the house that when I do play the game, I play on that household, and in that household they do have a teenager, and I love their bedroom, and I just basically drew on that inspiration, basically decorated it exactly the same as that bedroom. Mainly because I really love it, and I don't know what else to do with this place, with this teenager's bedroom. So we have a clock, we have like a vintage clock that what's it called? The wardrobe, the chest of drawers. That is like a chest of drawers that Grandma picked up on her travels. She liked it so much. She got a few of them on her travels. She's like, oh, I like this. Let's go on the website. Let's go on Amazon and order some more. So yeah, we have a few of them dotted about to signify her travels. This little sort of, I don't know what it is. This little statue with the magazines underneath, that's also trying to signify her grandma's travels around the world. This is what she collected, and she thought it would be nice to give it to her granddaughter or grandson to have in their bedroom, and that's what they've used it as. So this is my third attempt at going back into grandma's bedroom, and like I said, this is where I'm just trying to pick the colours from the painting and drag them into the room to make it more cohesive and make it look like Grandma thought about this, you know? She wants to make her home feel like hers, feel like it's been lived in. I want to make it look like a Grandma has stuck some of the things that she found or bought given travelling was stuck into this house, into his bedroom, sorry. And so yeah, I just want to make it more cohesive with the colours and make it more like she's been travelling, and she wants to stick some of her travel goodies in her bedroom to remind her of the of her time in those places. So because I also started to understand who Grandma was at this point, so I went back just to make it more grandma-like, you know, the grandma that I had in my head. So this, it would be like the parents' bedroom. So when the grandkids come over for like weekends, this would be the place where the parents would come over for like Christmas. So when Christmas rolls round, or even Thanksgiving, or like a birthday, the whole family come around, not just the grandkids, but the parents as well will come over, and this was where the parents would stay. So for this bedroom, I went for a very pink theme, trying to draw out the colours from the rug, trying to put them into the room to make it more cohesive. We have more stuff from the Jungle Adventure Pack to make it look like Grandma is dotting around all these items to remind her of her travels and actually using them in her home. There's a lot of clutter in this build, which is very unusual for me. Because I tend to decorate my homes, kind of make them look like show homes, so they look good in screenshots. Basically, I decorate them and clutter them so they look good in screenshots. But for this home, like I said, she bought this home when she was younger. This is the place where she brought her own kids up. This is the place where her grandkids come. This is the place where she stores all her goodies and trinkets from when she goes abroad or away. So there has to be lots and lots of stuff in this build, and I read a lot of people saying that we need more clutter items in the Sims 4. I never really got there because, like I said, I clutter to like a show home standard, so it looks good in screenshots. But cluttering this home to make it look well lived in, I found like, yeah, we need more clutter items. So during the bathroom, all the bathrooms look exactly like this, with the green walls, the cladding, which are pictures from the gallery, and that sort of like diamond black and white tiles. All the not bedrooms, bathroom looks like that. I just wanted to show you where I got the pictures that look like wooden cladding from. So yeah, I put all the names up of all the people who I got the pictures from. This is the art room. So not only does Grandma like to collect paintings and show them off in her home, she also likes to paint paintings. Not to also remember a time in these adventures that she goes on in her life. She likes to paint them. So this is this room. It also gave her a purpose to this room, because I didn't know what to do with it, but mainly because I forgot about it. I was like, yes, I've completed it, it's all done, I'm ready to go to edit the video, and then I gotta do this room, I completely forgot about it. But yeah, this is the artsy room, but this is where I'm going to leave you. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. So have a great day, and goodbye.